What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show with my dog, BD.
What's up?
Before we get into this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis so you don't miss any episodes.
Follow the show on Twitter, Draymond Show, so you don't miss none of these major announcements. And I'm happy to introduce a Bruin legend, NBA champion, Mr. I'm not a tough shot taker. I'm a tough shot maker. See a bucket, be a bucket, certified bucket getter. My dog, Los Angeles Clipper guard, and NBA All-Star candidate, Norman Powell.
What's going on, man? Appreciate the interview and the intro, man. Excited to be here.
It's great to see you having the year you having because I feel like every time we would play y'all, you would bust our ass anyway. So it's good to see you doing it to everyone else now and everyone get a taste of what you've been doing to the Warriors for years, brother. But the year you having, man, it's great to see.
I appreciate that, man, especially coming from you, man. It means a lot.
Norm, I remember your pre-draft workout with the Warriors and sitting in the locker room chopping it up with you after the workout.
Yeah, that was a minute ago, man. Damn, 10 years.
I thought there was a chance. You would end up with us. That would have been
See,
dope.
the problem was back then I couldn't shoot.
That is true. That is true. And we needed shooting at that time.
Yeah, because I remember you at school at UCLA, and like you was a slasher, defensive player. Just talk about really your evolution. You know what I mean? From, UCLA coming in as a dunker, highlight dude, to like your senior year being a scorer, one of the top scorers on the team, and then your NBA progress.
Yeah, I think just the development piece, especially going to UCLA. Like all of us coming out of high school, we was the guy. You know what I'm saying? We're scoring, we're doing everything. Teams playing through us. Going to UCLA, I still thought I was going to be that guy. But being under Coach Howland, Howland was in the half court. It was all defense, slow it down, grind it out, run sets. And it really didn't tailor my game. But I thought those 2 years under him helped me defensively. And then when we got Coach Alford, it really opened up my game offensively. But I think still by that time, like I wasn't shooting the three ball that well, was still slashing, transition, getting to the basket, getting on the rim. And then going to pre-draft and working out, we did a high emphasis on just making sure my shooting was consistent. And we knew that, for me to get drafted and me to make it on the NBA floor is going to be the defensive side of things. So I was just focused on that, and then once I got my foot in the door, it was all about showing them a little bit more. I always felt like I was a scorer. I always was able to put the ball in the basket. I just wasn't able to do that and show that consistently in my college career. And once I got a chance to do that, the floor in the NBA opens up. There's nobody sitting in the paint. There's no, they got a lot of rotations and things.
Right.
So I think just going in the summer league, it really opened up my game fully, and being able to show that I can score. And I think I averaged 20 right off the bat in summer league, and that really kind of put the eyes in that I can, I have the ability to put the ball in the basket on the NBA level. And then it was just continuing to work, and learn and grow the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, before you say something, Dray, you talked about the league, you talked about ISOs, like, I like to throw in these icebreakers, Norm, before we move to the next, this is about you, but I got to talk about defensive players. And my boy Draymond Green's play against Rudy Gobert walked him down, Norman Powell style. You feel what I'm saying? Cup dunk, then the Monday night celebration. You feel me?
I was telling him before that, man, where that come from, went back to the fountain of youth. I ain't seen that in a minute.
Hey, I don't dunk anymore, man. If I have the opportunity, I just lay the ball up, go and get the 2 points and run back, man. But I don't know, man. I turned that corner. I knew I had to turn that over.
The funny part is it was a perfect setup because it was against Rudy too. Like all the stuff going on. It was against him. He backing up too. I knew what time it was. I was like, oh, he about to go at him.
Hey, man. he started throwing elbows. He kept throwing elbows at me, bro. I was chilling. I wasn't trying to cause no issues. And he kept throwing elbows at me, bro. Even the one where he flopped was like, man, flop. Like before he took off, bro, he threw this crazy elbow. I mean, I'm like, man, y'all keep letting bro throw elbows at me. This is crazy.
They don't know, man. Rudy sneak dirty, man. Rudy sneak dirty.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Dude just be throwing elbows. But that was a fun play.
Dray, hold on.
That was fun.
I want to know. I know you gotta walk us through the setup. What made you? You know what I mean? Like what you saw Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean?
So
I know Norm know as an ISO dude. Oh my God, this the dude I have problems with on the island. Cause you went between the legs. You had a bop about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take you through the whole thing. So we go to the timeout, and Seth Cooper tells me, like, yo, you should get it and go. And like you gonna have Rudy on you. And so I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. But I ain't about to say that to Steve. Like, yo, Steve, give me the ball. So I'm like, all right. Sure enough, he come from behind the bench and he tells Steve, like, yo, you should give Dray, like, get a ball to Draymond. He gonna have Rudy on him. He can just set the offense. Everybody else, Jaden McDaniels, all them, they gonna be pressuring everybody. He's like, so get a ball to Draymond, he can set the offense. And so I start going in tween. Now, what I'm initially thinking is he dropping. I'm going to hand this ball back to Steph. But once he started dropping and Steph started coming up, I just took the rub screen. Steph set a great screen, and I turned that mug over. And then I hit him with the night-night, and it's crazy because I really started doing the night-night because I thought they called the foul because Jaden McDaniels pushed the shit out of me. So I thought they called it and one, but I couldn't hear it. So I started doing the night-night. And then I realized we needed to run back. And it's crazy. KD texted me last night. The first text I saw was K saying, yo, you a fool for running down the court full speed doing night-night. I didn't know till I watched it. Bro, I had blacked out. I didn't know till I watched the video.
Man, all the way down court. Yeah, bro, that was hilarious, man. Man, they got this man going crazy.
I did that all the way down the court, bro.
Somebody sleepwalking.
It wasn't even it was a big step down the court too, man. That shit was hilarious, dog.
It was like a night-night mixed with a shot. Come back down the court. I appreciate the big fella and Steph for letting me do a rendition of what they do, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Norm, speaking of going back to college, you just spoke about Coach Howland. And I have an issue. You know, oftentimes teams have shoot-arounds or practices when they're in LA at UCLA. And every time I walk in that gym, I get offended. And I want to know how you feel about this. I get offended because everybody's on the wall as a first-round pick, and it's just like it's no, like, respect for second-round picks. And I look up there, and I'm like, damn, if I'm a second-round, like, if I went here, y'all wouldn't even have me on y'all wall. I think that's quite dumb. And so then I immediately think about you, Norman. I'm like, y'all not going to have Norman Powell on y'all wall? Now, you become an all-star this year, possibly, and if that happened, and then it really looks stupid, like, wow, y'all don't have Norman Powell on y'all. I get offended every time I walk in there. So I just want to know how you feel about that. Because BD was just talking about, man, I come in the UCLA football game and Norm go to that seat, I go to the bowl, but they don't got you on the wall. And I personally feel some type of way about that. So I need to know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I do feel some type of way about it, but at the same time, like, I respect the tradition of UCLA. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got like all-time greats there. Like, it's so hard to crack that door open.
Man, it's
you know what I'm saying? Like, even like BD, like
BD's first round picks, bro.
BD's like, you know what I'm saying? They like top 3, top 5 point guards that ever come out of there. You know what I mean? Like, and
But I ain't cracked nothing, Norm. I ain't cracked nothing. I ain't got no Final Four. I ain't got no
that's what I'm saying.
All-American.
It's so
You know what
hard.
I
Like the
mean?
requirements, like even like they have a setup. I don't know if you've been in like the poly hallway going to the basketball, the men's side. Like they have a whole wall of
Mm-hmm.
like the All-Americans, and it's like 4-time NCAA whatever, like first selection. It's
Yeah.
3-time this, and I'm like, dudes ain't even like
Yeah.
in school long
Yeah.
enough to get that.
Hey, bro.
So y'all, neither one
Yeah.
of y'all did. Neither one of y'all did any of those.
Nothing. Like the
Nah,
Oh
bro.
standard
well,
is
I
so
did all
crazy.
those, but
The standard is
Yeah.
crazy at UCLA.
I ain't go to UCLA.
I
I'm
was
a Spartan
gone.
dog, BD, but I did all
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
Spartan dog.
I know it's tough, bro. Like, you know what I mean? At UCLA, it's tough. It's just tough to crack that code. Then you got to win a national championship. Then, it's like
Is Kevin
Ed
Love
O'Bannon
jersey retired? No, he wasn't
No,
on
like
that
he
one.
like they
no,
like
bro.
Russ, K
Ed
Love,
O,
like we can go down the
yeah,
line. Like nobody,
none
like
of
Drew,
them.
none of those guys' jersey will ever be retired.
Who's the last
No,
jersey to be retired?
Yeah.
Ed O'Bannon,
Jesus, y'all some bums.
Minute.
1995,
Hey,
All
BD,
American.
BD.
Hey,
I
bro.
just want
Huh?
I just want all y'all to know, you, Norm, Russ, Kayla, Drew.
Zach,
Um,
like,
I just want all y'all to know, Zach, you too,
mm-hmm.
Loon,
Yeah,
Long,
I just want all
yeah,
Kyle
Jaime,
Anderson.
Slow,
yeah,
Kyle
Jaime
Anderson.
Jaquez.
Yeah, hi,
Jaime.
man. Come on.
I just want all y'all
Come
to
on,
know,
bro.
y'all some bums. All right, I just want all y'all to...
We just know the
Facts.
Spartans wasn't
And the
messing with us, so it's
tradition,
all right.
facts. Y'all gotta get them ships up. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta get them ships up. Then
we,
you
we
would have
do
had
need
it.
to
You
Yeah,
would have had
man,
an
literally.
issue.
Like if
we
you're
do
not
need
winning a
to.
You know.
championship, like they not even hanging up like anything less. Like Sweet 16s don't get hung up. Like Elite Eights
Yeah.
don't get Final Fours. None of that. If
Final
it's not
fours,
a
none of it.
championship, it's not going. And if it's NIA championship, whatever it is, like it's going to
Not
the
going.
student recreation center. Like we're not putting that up in Paulie. Like it's crazy.
Come on, man. We lead the universities in the most champions. You know what I mean? We are a championship Draymond, you don't want to do this. You
Hey, no, I
really
love
don't want to do
UCLA.
this right now.
I actually love. It's actually.
Tell him,
It sounds
Norm.
like
It's really.
Tell him, Norm.
You know what's ironic about UCLA is we don't live too far away from LA. My kid, like DJ, loves UCLA, and so it's I'm steering that to
yeah, I
Michigan
mean, go
State,
ahead,
but
make him a Bruin,
we
man.
just
Come
Come
on.
on,
what
man.
He
we
gonna be a
All right,
growing up
Bruin.
get
He
right
you the
gonna be
there.
a
A clap.
We
We'll
Bruin.
get you
growing up
set
right
up.
by
Don't worry
there.
about it.
Yeah, all that.
Michigan State, but he ride past there every day, and it's like, oh, that's UCLA, Daddy. That's UCLA. I go work out there. That's
Man,
UCLA. Like, Daddy, we going to UCLA,
The
and so
it's
standard.
happening.
it's just a
It's happening.
familiarity with it for him.
Yeah.
But y'all,
Hey, bro,
but
he in LA. It's
I will
happening.
say, as much as I love UCLA, I love the campus. I'm appreciative. Like, it's going to be very hard for UCLA to reach that level of success again. Like, it's just too competitive. It's so
Yeah.
Absolutely
competitive.
not.
Why? Like, what's
I
happening
just
then?
think
Like, because y'all ain't
Absolutely
yeah, the
not.
like.
biggest thing is I
I think
think
it's tough, man.
and it's no knock on you. Like we are tough with adapting to change. Like the standard that John Wooden, like the pyramid of success, like the core foundation of like the fans and like the donors and boosters and stuff are like so stuck on the old days, and like the times have changed and how you
Yeah.
recruit and how you get players, what's going to attract you. Like, yes, like being a champion and the history of UCLA is still appealing and it's at an all-time high. But a lot of players still don't have that mindset. Like, I'm gonna stay 4 years. I want to win an NCAA championship.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be player of the year. They're trying to get to the next level. And like, how can they do that the most efficient and
Totally.
fastest way possible? Like, they're not really focused on the tradition as much as it was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? What it means to
That's for
be a
sure.
Bruin, what it means to be a Spartan, like and carrying that with you. They're looking at what is the best avenue
Yeah.
to get me to that next level. So the standards of what UCLA has doesn't really
Totally.
fit with where the game is today.
Yeah.
For the modern day athlete. Yeah. I always say we gotta remix the tradition. You know what I mean? And I think to Draymond's point is like we got to show that Norman Powell, Zach LaVine, Drew Holiday, all of these people, right? Even though they didn't win national championships at UCLA, but Final Fours, Sweet 16s, like whatever, however you've been decorated, should be, over marketed, especially for these new kids coming in, because they still looking at you and coming up to you, especially you playing for the Clippers and being like, yo, I'm in LA, I can have the same career Norman Powell had, right? And so I think UCLA, one, the school should kind of remix the tradition, and we got to make sure that people like you are coming back. You know what I mean? Zoe, K-Love, all these people are coming back, and really, so these young kids can be like, yo, I want to go to UCLA and I want to win, and then we get that influx of talent because people want to be, closer to the stars. That's in
We
the
missing
league.
that.
Exactly.
We missing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These kids today don't know who Ed O'Bannon is. So you walk me in that gym and I look up, no disrespect to Ed O'Bannon, by the way, but the young kid today.
But every NIL kid should know who Ed O'Bannon
Every
is.
NIL kid should know who Ed O'Bannon is, but let's face it, these kids don't educate themselves on things like that. So we can say what they should know, but the reality is they don't. And today's kid, sadly, don't care. And so to the point, they don't know who Ed O'Bannon is. But even if they know who Ed O'Bannon is, they know who Ed O'Bannon is from the trial that Ed O'Bannon
they don't know about the hooper.
Took NCAA to court and won. They wouldn't know about Ed O'Bannon, the basketball player that won in 1995. And so there's a huge gap in between Ed O'Bannon and 2024, and like the guys you just named. And if you don't showcase any of those guys because of your tradition when John Wooden was there, like the tradition is rich, but there's a big gap, and you're just not going to attract the top kids. Like, because the kid today is just the kid today is impressed by something totally different than I was and Norm was. Like, BD, you're what, 10 years before us, but the kid today is even not impressed by what we were impressed by.
No,
and so it's a totally different ball game, and you got to go all the way back to Ed O'Bannon. And like, that's how you go sell to the kid. I just think that's going to be tough to do and compete at the level that y'all going to want to compete at. So you're going to look up, it's going to be 40 years, and y'all ain't going to have nobody. And that's tough, I think.
Every kid NIL, it should have been 3% went to the Ed O'Bannon Foundation or something, because that is
we got everybody paid.
He is responsible. I got everybody.
Now they walking around with Maybachs and
so
it is crazy.
Come on, man.
It's insane.
The NCAA, all Ed O'Bannon should, and you just think about Bruin legacy. Shout out to Ed O'Bannon. He just changed the game. You know what I mean? And to your point, Dray, there is a huge gap, and I think that the NCAA and UCLA and everybody should, really think about, what he did and the impact he has, because it basically changed the whole way that we look at, NIL. Norm, can you imagine, you know what I mean, going to school now with NIL?
Crazy.
You know like
it was funny because, I talk to I say young dudes now because I'm on year 10. It's crazy. But like talking to Kobe and Jordan and Trenton and Cam, the young guys we got on the team, they already got designer on and everything. And I'm like, man, y'all don't even understand the struggle that I went through, man. Like my first, for me, like when I got to the league, I thought I was going to be living, you know what I mean? And like my first check was less than what I got in college. And what I got in college was $5,000, you know what I'm saying, for Pell Grant. And I'm like, man, y'all sitting around here with a Hellcat, man. Y'all got Prada shoes on and LV bag, Goyard, this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, I can't even imagine what it was like if I could do that. Because when we was in college, NCAA had the dumbest rules. Like, you can get bagels, but you can't get cream cheese. You know what I mean? Like, like, what we talking about? It's an extra benefit to get cream cheese on a bagel. It's crazy.
Right.
That's a fact.
Like, what are we
Diabolical.
talking
No, that's a
about?
fact. They don't understand the struggle, man. I always say when I first came into the league, man, I was one day away from taking a loan from one of my homeboys, Jarrell Worthy. He was about to look out for me. He had just got drafted in the second round to the Green Bay Packers. And they get a signing bonus,
Right
they
there.
get money right away. I ain't got no money from college, and I don't get paid till November 15th. And I ain't know when I was gonna a second round pick like yourself. So they ain't signed me till later in the summer, then waiting on the advance. I ain't have no
Nothing.
money. And man, I ain't have enough money to get a car. So I had to rent a car from
Bro, it's
Enterprise.
crazy.
But because they would let me, because Enterprise would let me rent, and like the Warriors at the time was able to take care of it because like just some rules were rookie. I ended up with like a 20-some $1,000 bill on Enterprise rental. I could have put that towards a car, but I couldn't afford to get a car. And so I had to bill. And then Jared Jack had a lease Range Rover, 2010 Range Rover, and he had like 9,000 miles on it. So he was about to turn his lease back in. Jack let me take over the lease. It was only like $37,000 left to pay on the truck, or $47,000 left on an incredible supercharged 2010 Range Rover. I'm like, man, Jack, I'll take that over. And I didn't have enough money to put on a down payment to get a car. So that's how I got my first car in the NBA. Like it was rough, man. I like for a while I ain't had no furniture. Then I got the advance. I was able to get some furniture. It was rough,
Bro,
man.
that sounds just like me, man. I had from pre-draft to draft to when I had to go to Toronto, I had to get a rental car just like yourself, and I remember it was a Chevy Impala from Enterprise, and I had that for the whole summer, man. And I had to take out a line of credit just to be able to pay the rental fee off, and then just to have some money for I could be able to move and get my stuff to Toronto and everything like that, man. It was crazy. I'm like, bro, this cannot be what the league is like. There's no way. I got drafted and I still have no money in my pocket. And then the first check, man, that first check, man, was less than what I got in college, man. Second round pick. I'm like, there's no way, but I'm getting taxed in Canada and Cali. So like I got nothing. Nothing.
Wow.
It was crazy. The only bonus I had was that in Canada, the conversion rate. So like we getting paid in American, and so you got money coming into a Canadian account, and that money is double at the time. You know what I'm saying? So like I opened up my Canadian account, and I'm like, oh man, I got money now. I got breathing room, man. But it was crazy.
That's funny.
They'll never understand.
Well, y'all ain't got to complain now because y'all both paid.
Man, we doing well.
Y'all doing quite well.
We doing well now.
The struggles are over.
And speaking of the NBA, oh, by the way, before we move all the way on from UCLA, I love my Bruins. Shout out to my man Bob Myers. Mattel Children's Hospital, they are the best in there. Shout out to them. Right?
Shout out.
Eric Israelian. Incredible, man.
Dr. Israeli.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
I got a lot of deep love for the UCLA Bruins, my brother.
He tied in. He tapped in with us. He definitely tapped in. He tapped in. That's why DJ going to UCLA.
I'm a Spartan through and through, but I got love for the Bruins. Welcome to the Big Ten, fellas. And speaking of, now we in the NBA. Earlier this year, you had an interview where you said it's addition by subtraction. Did you think it would become this big of a deal that you say that you play how you play, Philly look how they look, and everybody blowing that up? Like, what did you think of that when you said that? Did you know it was headed here?
Nah, I didn't think it was gonna be as blown up as it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly was just looking like as just motivation. You know what I'm saying? I'm finally get the opportunity. Like I always felt like I was the guy that the teams relied on. You know what I'm saying? As that X factor to help get us wins or push us over the top. But I always had the feeling that I could be in that position. And when I the moves that were made and that opening was there. It was just like addition by subtraction, because I can fill that void. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be the one to step in
Yep.
and have that same production or impact. And it was just like a mentality approach to it. It wasn't like a still shot at PG and do all that. It was just like I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? I get an opportunity, to be one of the guys that I've always wanted to be. But
Yep.
then, media takes it in and runs with it. You got people talking about it, and then Philly starts the way they start. Got people mad at PG for leaving, and then like it just turns into this like Norm versus
Yep.
PG. Norm's playing better than PG right now. The Clippers are better than the Sixers. Like it just turned into this whole crazy thing, and it was just like, nah, like we got like not only myself, but we got other guys who were scratching and clawing as well. We had 4 Hall of Famers on our team. You know what I mean, for 2 seasons,
Right.
and we had to figure out how to make it work. And you got to take a lesser role, and play to help the team win. But now that's not here anymore. Like you got the addition of these other guys and the addition of me to be able to step into a larger role.
No, I like it, man, because I was calling baller vision for a couple, I think 2 seasons, and just to watch your evolution, just coming off the bench, candidate for 6 man of the year, you know, coming in and being focal in the offense, right? Being a focal point in the offense over the last 2 years, and now becoming, that guy. I remember, I would say my third year when I kind of stepped into the role like, hey, it's up for grabs. There's 5, 6, 7 more points for me. There's more responsibility. Talk about this for you. You know what I mean? This being a year, to be able to show what you can do. And not that it was something that, you've been waiting for this
Mm-hmm.
moment. You can pretty much say 9 years of your career. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. Yeah, I think it's just being ready, staying prepared, and continue to have faith and belief. Like in yourself throughout this grind.
Mhm.
Like I said, like I've always been the guy that teams like value in terms of like a winning player. That can come in and help, a guy that you can plug and play in situations. And like I've had sparks and moments and stints in my 10-year career where like guys get hurt, and now I'm playing for 15 straight games, starting, averaging 20 plus, shooting efficiency, good, everything. But then guys come back, and now I'm at the end of the bench, and I got to fill that role again. Just being up and down with that. But like I said, I always believed that I could do this, and I always wanted the opportunity. Like talking to AJ,
Yeah.
my trainer, that y'all know, just like, man, like we used to have conversations in the summer, like I really want to see what it's like when I got the reins, you know what I mean? Like, cause I feel that I can produce,
Yeah.
I can do this. Like I've seen it up close. I've had it in stints and spurts. I've learned. I've watched the guys in front of me, DeMar, Kyle, Kawhi operate, Dame, CJ. Like I've seen how these franchise players and organizations that hold these guys to a high standard operate and approach the game. And I have the same mentality, I have the same approach, I have the same
Mhm.
work ethic, if not more. In some cases, like I want to see what it looks like. But it was just about staying ready and staying prepared and believing in myself through all the ups and downs, and just waiting, and having talks with L and Mark when they traded for me, about my value. Like I just came from starting from Portland. I don't really want to come off the bench again. Like I'm trying to keep elevating my career, you know what I'm saying, to
Mhm.
hopefully become one of those guys. And they said it, like we see you as a
Yep.
starter, but like in terms of how our team is configured right now, like we think it's best for you to come off the bench, and be that spark plug and help us in that way, because we need firepower off the bench. And me being, I want to win at the end of the day, no matter what it is. Like I want to win. I want to win championships. I want to win games. I want to be known as a winning player. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes for the team to win. Whether that's me taking a lesser role, me stepping up into a bigger role. Like I'm all about winning, and that's what it is. And with this opportunity here, I told L in the summer, like I'm ready for it. The ups and downs, like you can lean on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be ready for it. I'm not gonna shy away from everything. Like it's gonna be a learning experience, because this is my first time, in the league actually having this leadership role for a full season, and being looked upon. So it's not going to be pretty every single game and every single night, but like, you got somebody that you can lean on is going to continue to put the work in and go out there and try to help this team win.
The Emirates NBA Cup is here, so you can win big. getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, which is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. If you're ready to place your first bet, make it simple. Pick a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, 90 seconds, download it, make your pick, a team to win. First time, here's something special. New DraftKings customers, bet $5, that's it. And you can get $150 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. So score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the app and use the code Colin, C-O-L-I-N, C-O-L-I-N for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets. Betting just $5.
Speaking of just y'all team and what you brought to that team, what has Jeff Van Gundy coming back to the NBA as a coach on y'all staff? What has he brought to the mix? It just seems like y'all have a different energy and a different way about y'all. And I know that I feel like he's right in the mix of that.
Nah, definitely, man. JVG, man, I love that dude. Probably not before when he was done, talking to the games and stuff like that. I don't know if it was him or his brother. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a little bit of some hate going on, but nah. I mean, he's been great for us. Like honestly, he's a little bit annoying with the guys just because how much he loves the game and like his attention to detail. Some guys are like, that's the other, but I always tell him, man, like we need it. You know what I'm saying? Like we need that firepower, that intensity, that passion that he comes in with every single day. Like we hear T. Lou talking about it. Like, man, sometimes I gotta pull himself. Like, yeah, man, go home. Like, stop watching the tape and everything. But he's so detailed. I mean, like a walkthrough that I've had before him as a defensive coach would probably be like 15, 20 minutes. We go through here, this rotation's right here. We're going to send this person left. Like he come through like, he's pulling your jersey. Like, we need you right here. The ball's going to be right here. They're going to turn around and do this. And when you come here, you got to be a step higher, not a step back, but a step higher. Like he's like so detail oriented. And then just his approach of like, we're going to attack. Like, we're not going to sit back on our heels. Like we played against y'all. Like, we're not going to let Steph come down and do it. Like, we're going to pressure him. We're going to blitz him. We're going to pick him up. We're going to do things different. Like, if they're butt dribbling, we're going to attack the ball. If they're doing a DHO, like we're going to jump it. Like, everything he's doing is talking about being aggressive and playing hard and being the one to attack the basketball, to attack the game. I think we have a group of guys. One, we got younger. Two, we got guys that got something to prove, you know what I'm saying, that have bounced around the league, have their own story and their own journey, you know what I'm saying, and they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to stay put. And you got guys that are locked in and want to play basketball the right way, and everybody's feeding off his energy. Like him being back is definitely the energy and what we needed, to jumpstart the start of the season for us.
Now that Draymond is coming off the bench, do you have any advice for him?
Hey, keep them legs warm, man. Better get on that bike. Get on that Aerodyne bike or that Kaiser bike, man.
No, but serious, having that role. And then, Dray and I, we talk about it. I think it's, Draymond can, type of player can do anything similar. And Norm, you showing it coming from the 6-man to starting. But, just the importance of like, and both of y'all talk about it, right? Because like Norm, here you are, 6-man of the year. Now you are in new terrain. Dray, Hall of Fame career, Hall of Famer, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You know what I mean? Injuries, getting older. Now looking at the young dude, mentoring, coming off the bench and being more explosive. Yeah, just talk about the role and how important it is, to have that conversation with yourself, but also like, what is, like, how do you reinvent yourself? You know what I mean? And stay hungry.
Me to go first, or you, DG?
Norm, you go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
I think the biggest thing is one, to make it in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell the young kids, like everybody is not going to be the number one option. Everybody's not going to be the franchise player. So how do you stick? How do you find success in the league and still work your way, into the player that you believe in yourself or see yourself as being, and it's all about finding that role that the team needs and maximizing that. Because once you maximize that role, you're going to get more opportunity to showcase your game, right? But a lot of kids today, they do it backwards. They think they should be the franchise player and get all this, that, and the other, and they're trying to figure out why they don't have success, and it's like, okay, if the coach is asking me to be this, pick up 94 feet and be this scrappy defender guy, then and that's what I got to do to get on the court, I'm going to do that. But the mentality is, no, I want to score. I want to do all these things. People don't want to get down and dirty, but it's really important in the league to find that niche. I wasn't a scoring guy when I first came in the league. It was, man, I was picking up Kyrie, prime John Wall, prime Russ, 94 feet. They were putting me on Porzingis, Melo. I'm 6'3", you know what I mean? I'm guarding Porzingis in the post, you know what I mean? But that's what got me on the floor, and as I'm doing that, it's okay, I'm an opportunity scorer. I'm a defender, energy guy, opportunity scorer. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this defense and I'm gonna create my opportunities for myself. So now it's oh dang, Norm, he can shoot. Oh, he can get to the basket. Oh, he can put up 10, 15 points. You know what I mean? So it's all about, this is my role and I'm gonna execute this role, but I'm also going to continue to strive for more, you know what I'm saying, and show that I can and will do more for the team. And that's how I've been able to find my success. But it was all about, taking a step back, and having that honest conversation with yourself. What are you going to do and how are you going to get to where you want to be? And a lot of people aren't really ready to have those conversations, right? To take that step back and be my path to where I envision myself long-term might not be the exact path that I have set out for myself, but it's going to be a path that I'm willing to take, to achieve that. And it might be a longer road, but I'm ready to endure that journey and that grind to get to where I'm at. But for me, it was everything about filling that role and finding out how I was going to be successful in this league. And I had the honest conversation with myself, and I was ready for that grind.
I think I had a very similar coming in as well with me. Whether it was to go in and guard Andre Miller, who was taking the last shot for Denver, or obviously, going in to stop Kobe if, we playing against the Lakers on the last second shot. Sometimes that was my only way onto the floor. Guarding LaMarcus Aldridge, guarding Blake, guarding Zebo, guarding Marc Gasol, an older Tim Duncan. That was my way. Pau Gasol, that was my way onto the court. And so then you start to do that. And like you said, you add more and you add more and you show more. But I always tell young people and people in general, when you add more, you can never not do what you started off doing. So you can never just become a scorer and not check it all and you came in the league checking. Nobody gonna respect you no more. They're gonna be oh, but he lost it because he can't guard no more. You see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be oh, nah, he's scoring at this. And so that's why they're gonna be yo, he's slowing down because look, he can't even stay in front of that guy. And remember when he used to do this, right? So you can never not do what you came in doing. And so for me, then I had to grow from there. At this point in my career, I'm 13 in. The chase for greatness is still there, right? Or I wouldn't do it. The capability is still there. I've continued to show that. But the attitude is not. Coming up young in this league, to a certain extent, you gotta be about it. Just to make it, y'all both know, to a certain extent, you have to have some of that it's about me and you in order to do it. And so you go through and you learn and you experience. And with everything I've experienced, at a certain point, you got to know when to let go of it just being about, and not just about me, because I've always been a team guy, but you got to know when to let go of the me. And at this point in my career, I am very well accomplished, and I still got a lot left in the tank. But
a lot.
It's also, I also know this business like the back of my hand. And so Jonathan Kuminga's in year 3, which means he's extension eligible this summer. Excuse me, he's in year 4. And you know, he'll be a restricted free agent this summer. And so you look at it from the business side, he have to get the opportunity to show his worth. Like, just so you know, as an organization, like, he has to get that opportunity. And he's earned the opportunity. He's more than earned the opportunity. So you take those two things into account. I know the business. Stand down, bro. Like, stand down. Check this out. I'm also a fan of Jonathan Kuminga, and I am Jonathan Kuminga's vet. I want to see Jonathan Kuminga do well.
Yeah.
So me in year 13 that this is going to happen, but could decide tomorrow I don't want to play anymore. Why would you stand in the way of his opportunity?
No, that's real.
Like, I'm not going to sit and like, oh, this is, because at the end of the day, I'm going to finish game. I'm going to close games. I'm going to be in when it matters. Not that he's not going to be in, but I'm going to be in when it matters. And I'm going to do what I do. So whether I start or not, I've started so many games in the NBA. My ego isn't in it. And as a matter of fact, I'm all for it because I want to see young fella get off. And guess what? I know starting to him means something. You know why I know starting to him means something? Because when I was in year 4, starting to me meant something. And so David Lee took the back seat for me. And not that he took the back seat like he could have said, oh no, he still supported me. He still taught me. When I was coming up against certain matchups, hey, this guy, because he's seen them so much. Like, it was never, yo, I can't do this, or it was never that. And so, like I said, being a product of that, Pete Myers would always tell me, you owe it to the game to get a young fella's back. You owe it to the game to leave it in a better place than it was when you found it. You got to give back to the young fellas. You got to pour into them. I'm at the point in my career now where I am 1,000% a starter in the NBA. I know that, not tripping on that at all. But if this is going to help Jonathan Kuminga and this is going to help this team, then let's check it out. And if it don't pan out, we always know we can go back to me starting at the 4 or 5. Like, so we can always go back to that. But let's see what he got. He deserved that. And I've never respected guys who's like, if it comes down to that, and it's like, I wouldn't say respect, but I've just always been like, if it's me in the position and it comes down to, yo, now maybe two years ago, I wouldn't feel like this. Like, I mean, you're 13. Like, so if it comes down to you and this kid getting the opportunity to change his life, to change his family life, move on. Like, give it back to the game. And like I said, then you add in the personal relationship that I have with Jonathan Kuminga. I can't look him in his eye, tell him all the love I got for him, and be the person standing in the way of his opportunity. I can't do that. That don't work for me.
It's crazy that you say that because like, I was in a similar situation as Kuminga in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like, with opportunity, like I worked my way. Like, I was grinding down to the D League at the time, back up. And they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do for the starting role with DeMar Carroll. He had a messed up knee, so he wasn't playing back-to-backs. You know, and I had Terrence Ross and James Johnson and Patrick Patterson in front of me, you know, and then I was a second-round pick. I had DeLon Wright. He was the 20th pick, you know, like their first round. And the team went with me, you know, and mind you, at the time, like James Johnson was my vet. and all the stuff that was going around the league about him, like all that years ago. So I felt some type of way. I was like, damn, like, it's my vet. Like, he's showing me love. Like, he's taking me around, taking me under his wing, giving me so much advice. And I got wind that whatever was going on, I don't know if it was true or not. But I went to him like, I didn't want him to be mad at me, you know what I'm saying, for the opportunity, they were starting me. And the one thing he told me was like, bro, I'll never be mad at you, you know what I'm saying, for getting your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you do great. There's enough out of here for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to be successful. So like, don't trip. I'm rooting you on every step of the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in your ear, making sure that, you stay focused and locked in. And he always got me ready. You know what I'm saying? After practice, we was playing one-on-one, talking shit to me, like getting that fire, that dog, making sure I was, picking up and pressuring and not backing down. But like similar situation, you know what I'm saying? He a vet in the league. Like he should be, getting his opportunity as well. But, they wanted to go with somebody younger and see what he had and see what I had and what I was working with and how I could help the team, and he was a full supporter of that, and really like helped me along the way, along with DeMar and those other guys. But, I had that conversation with him, and he removed himself, like, like this is about you. It's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you be successful. And you need that, because now, from that experience with him and DeMar and talking to those guys, now I'm the one, passing down game and knowledge and giving the young guys some strategies on how to navigate being a professional and waiting for their opportunity and being ready for it and stepping into that role. Like I got Jordan Miller as my youth, as my rookie. And, now he's getting the opportunity to play. He had to go through the G League grind. He was an older guy coming out of college, and now I'm telling him in the game, like, bro, take this shot, take this three, you know what I'm saying? Attack down here, right here, be aggressive, because that's what we need. I'd rather you make mistakes being aggressive than being passive and worried about, making a mistake or if coach is going to pull you out. So like to your point, DG, just about leaving the game in a better place and passing down that knowledge and removing the me, you know what I'm saying? The personal of I gotta get this, like this is about me. Like, how do I prove that? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't have all the accomplishments and things like that, but like I've become a household name where people know what I can do every single night. This is what Norm's gonna bring to the table. So if it's not my night and my young fella got it going, man, I'm a feed, man. Carry the team tonight, boy. Like, I ain't backing out. Like I want them to be successful because I know, when I was in that role, I had somebody else passing that knowledge and that confidence down to me, so that's the biggest thing, in terms of, passing the knowledge down and leaving the game in a better place and removing that me, you know what I'm saying? Like the same situation that you're talking about, I experienced and now having to be that vet and do the same thing.
1000%. I think that's dope. I've heard several guys now that's come from under James Johnson wing talk about him as they vet and how he took them under their wing. That's dope.
I know, this year you've been having a kick-ass year, all-star year. I want you to tell everybody, why you believe you're all-star this year.
Hey, man, BD, I don't like talking about myself, man.
I know you don't like to. I mean, I could do it for you, but, just talk about, the role you stepped into, where people didn't think, let's say with PG leaving, right? And, Russ not being there as well. And then, the Clippers not being, thought of as a contender. James Harden saying, I am the system. You know what I mean? Like, talk through all that and then how you've emerged, as that counterpart. I think, I want to hear from you, but also the fans want to hear from you, just about your get down, you know what I mean? And your approach this year. And,
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think I'm an all-star just like you said, like where the team and where they saw us at, like we was, I think, second to last in the West. Like they had no belief that we were going to be a good team because we lost PG, we lost Russ, and then the whole Kawhi, being out and being hurt. And then the narrative around James, he's not the same player that he was. He's not going to be able to carry a team. That his best basketball days, are behind him. And for me and him to come together, and be the two guys that is leading this team, you know what I'm saying, on a nightly basis and making sure that we're competitive. You know, that's a testament to who we are as a players. And then just my production as well, you know, from being able to be in a role of six man behind four Hall of Fame guys, you know, still putting up production and points. Last year to stepping in and increasing my averages across the board, being super efficient from the field, from the 3-point line, and still being competitive. Like DG said at the beginning, like if we can stay in that top five in the standings, you know, I have a good chance. But just me emerging as a guy that, you know, people didn't think would be able to do this in year 10, you know, that like I was just fitting this certain role.
Yeah.
I think that's the strongest candidate that my strongest pitch that I have. You know, I'm producing every single night. You know, I'm doing my thing. I'm holding it down against the top dogs, the top teams, and my mentality and approach has always been the same. You know, my work ethic hasn't changed. I think the biggest thing that I've done going into the season, knowing that I'm going to have a bigger role and more pressure and stuff on me from myself, not much external because like I don't really care what media and stuff talking about because they don't really know. But just with myself was just a mental approach. You know, just like what is going to be my daily approach to the game. You know, good days, bad days and games. Like, am I going to be somebody that rides the wave? Or am I going to be even kill? You know what I'm saying? And going at it the same way. So I put a lot of emphasis on just like the mental part of the game, making sure that my mind is ready night in and night out because I know my body can do it. You know, I stress my body out all summer long, 3 workouts a day, 5 days a week. You know, going at it 3 weeks on, 1 week off, traveling, still training, still getting it in. So I know my body's up for the grind, but where's my mental going to be? You know, when, you know, I go one night, you know, I got 30, 37, and then the next night I got 22 or 15, and I'm shooting 5 for 19, you know, like I'm like, oh man, like the team needed me tonight, man. Like I can't do this, or it's gonna be like, you know, this happens. Like, how do I get better? How do I improve? How do I still get the best from the team? So that's the biggest thing that I changed going into this season is just making sure that I'm mentally strong, no matter what it is, whether I'm playing great for a stretch of games or, you know, I have a few games where, you know, the ball's not going into the basket. How can I still be that leader? How can I still be impactful and keep this team, you know, as one of the top teams in the conference? And I think I've been able to do that so far, even with being out with injuries and things like that, still being in guys' ears, still bringing that competitive fire and grit to the game. But when I'm on the floor, like we're hanging in there, you know what I'm saying? We're going to figure it out. We're going to be competitive every single night. And I think that's what makes me an all-star this year.
I agree, bro. I definitely think you having an all-star season. You know what I mean? To me, there's so many all-stars, you know what I mean? And just putting your name on the board and putting your name in that category is just like that next leveling. And as I continue to watch you, I just see you keep leveling up. You know what I mean? And as a Bruin, I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? As your OG, I'm proud. And shit, you got my vote, bro. I'm campaigning because, you know, what you guys are doing with the Clippers and the type of year that you having is I call it's the show and prove year, right? Every game, you know, you showing up, y'all showing up. I'm campaigning for Dray for Defensive Player of the Year because he's showing up. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, I love the young guys. I love the young guys, the young energy in this league, but it's also, you know, we got to recognize veterans that take that journey, that take that step, you know what I mean, and reinvent themselves, you know, multiple times because that's really the staple of the league. And, you know, I fight for veterans, more vets, you know what I mean, but we definitely got to, you know, make sure we shine a light on, you know, the vets that's in here because y'all showing up every night, y'all proving, and, you know, that's really the cornerstone of the game. You feel what I'm saying? And these young guys are the energy. And so when I'm watching the game, I'm really watching, you know, basketball at its finest, at its purest, with a fine tooth comb, with a fine eye. And I love what the young guys are doing. But, you know, I just, from the respect level and how you've been getting down all year, I'm just loving your get down all year.
Appreciate that, dog.
No, most definitely. I've had a lot of battles with James Harden over the years, with James Harden playing like James Harden playing this year. And you can imagine 6 years younger and playing how he playing this year. Crazy, crazy battles, fun battles. A lot of respect for James. What have you seen differently from him this year, as opposed to what you saw last year when he was with you guys?
I just think his approach, man. Like honestly, like a little different. Like guy coming in. Wasn't crazy long into the season. I think we were like 3 games in or whatever it was, and then when he finally gets on, we're probably like 11 games. But just trying to get acclimated, and figuring it out. Like everybody got to take an adjustment period. So he's trying to figure out the guys and how he can insert himself into the team. So we went to that 6-game losing streak. When he started playing, and it was just a full adjustment period, and then we got a little rhythm and stuff. But I think this year his approach overall, I said it in the media, like during the summers, like he was working out with the young guys. You know what I'm saying? Like we're doing the beep test conditioning and running up and down the floor, after their individual workouts, and he's right along with them. He's going through the coverages and talking to them and being vocal, on how we need to play, who we have to be this year. And vets can do whatever they want. Nobody's checking in on James to see if he's getting his work in. It's trusted. That's for the young guys that have to come in and be seen every single day underneath the coaches. And he's there. And I think that builds trust. That builds the chemistry. Saying like if James is in here doing this, then I have to too as well. And then just his care with his body. I see him getting his workouts in. I see him getting his treatments, and being really vocal about what he needs, after the game's lifting and doing all the things to make sure that, he's able to be ready to lead and play every single night. I think that's been the biggest thing. Like even just being in the locker room throughout the course of the games, start the games, halftime, in the games, like talking about what we need to do, the adjustments, keeping our heads up, on tough nights when we let games slip away from us or we get blown out, just refocusing everybody. He's been amazing with that. And that's what we need, seeing that side of things from him, and being, like you said, an opposing player. You don't really know what goes on behind the scenes and all the articles and things that were being put out about him leaving Philly and all that. Like, you get a one-sided narrative, but then actually being in the locker room with him and talking to him. Our lockers right next to each other, so there's a lot of dialogue on the game and the approach and what we have to do. I mean, he's a great dude, great teammate. Like I'm honored just to be able to play with him on the floor. With all the things he's been able to accomplish and looking up to him. But he's been great.
A quarter of the NBA season is done, and you don't want to miss the hype atmosphere of watching basketball games live. The sound from the court and the feel of the crowd. My first NBA game I ever attended at the Palace of Auburn Hills, checking out the Detroit Pistons. I'll never forget it. They were playing against the Orlando Magic. I went with the Civitan Recreation Center. It was like a field trip. And we sat way in the nosebleeds. But for me, that was an incredible experience, just seeing NBA guys live and on the court. It's like you have that dream of making it, and then knowing that they were real people. It's like, oh man, like, wow, I could possibly be that. And Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets.
Man, I'm looking at the app right now and looking at tickets for the Clippers-Warrior game later this month under Customize Your Spot. I really like the all-in pricing because it shows how much I'm going to have to pay, and also the Game Time ticket coverage that covers my purchase with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry, because I'm a busy man, so I might not make it.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code GREEN, GREEN, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code GREEN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Game time.
Talk about also like your relationship with Kawhi. We know Kawhi is out. You know, definitely when he comes back, I think y'all gonna be one of the most dangerous teams in the league. You know, you've played, on the same team, won a championship with him.
Relax.
Hey man, he get mad every time I say that.
Relax.
Man, we
bro.
can't get one, bro. We can't get one.
Relax, bro. It's cool. Relax, man.
We had to get one, dog.
My bad. You know what I mean? My bad.
I'm glad that it still. I'm glad it still bothers him, man.
It will never not bother me, bro. It will never not bother me.
But talk about y'all evolution is, teammates, y'all relationship with teammates in Toronto and now, how that's evolved. And then when his return come, just how that's gonna help, kind of your game and the way you plan, how that takes pressure off of, him coming back.
Kawhi's been great, man. I mean, I've known Kawhi since I was in high school. I was in San Diego. I was at Lincoln. He was at San Diego State. San Diego State was the first school to offer me a full ride scholarship. I took my official visit there, being from San Diego, respecting Coach Fisher. Jeremy, Kawhi's right-hand man. He hosted me actually on my visit to San Diego State. So, knowing Kawhi and being around Kawhi for a while, like he's always supported me and showed me love. Even when he was in San Antonio playing, he pulled me to the side, like whatever I needed, make sure I hit him up, back down to San Diego, get workouts in and things like that. But just being able to share the floor with him, talk to him, pick his brain and his approach. Cause, everybody thinks he's just like this, like, I don't know what, statue, robot that has no feelings, no emotions and things like that, man. Like I always try to tell people, man, Kawhi is literally like one of us, you know what I mean? Like, he's just quiet in the media and everything like that. But behind closed doors in the locker room, like he's telling jokes, he's talking, like he's normal. You know what I mean? But just his approach to the game, and his diligence, and his focus is what I've appreciated as a teammate. I've learned so much from just no matter what's going on, just staying even, you know what I'm saying? He's never too high, never too low. He always has this like demeanor of like, F it, you know what I'm saying? Like I miss a shot, like I'm going to miss another one. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to approach it. I'm still going to go at it the same way. And so that's kind of like rubbed off on me, like where it's like, no matter what's going on, like I know who I am, like I know what player I am, like nothing's going to change that. So that's what I've learned most about Kawhi, but I've known him for a while. So like being teammates or not, like we've always been cool. I see
Kawhi
Charles says, what's the funniest thing you've seen? What's the funniest thing I've seen? Him working out with no socks is crazy. I think that's probably the funniest thing. He on the court with full setup and no socks is probably the funniest thing I've seen.
What?
That's sick.
What?
Yeah,
that's nasty.
I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble saying that, man.
Nasty.
But
No, I was gonna say, like, what is a Kawhi-ism? Like, I heard a Kawhi-ism was the coach was saying, like, all right, dude in the game, he can't shoot. He said, well, why is he playing
oh my
basketball?
gosh, man. Oh my gosh, you want a Kawhiism? All right, so we in Toronto, right? We just got blown out by Milwaukee, and we come in the film the next day, and Nick Nurse is talking about roles and how our offense can get better. We just got blown out, and and so he's telling everybody what they should do, and he gets to Kawhi, and he's talking about trying to move the ball. You know what I mean? And so he's like, like even Kawhi, you come down, man. You know what I'm saying? Just moving the ball for the hell of it. And Kawhi's like, Kawhi got the deep voice. He's like, yeah, I don't think I should move the ball for the hell of it. I was like, man, And
That
he's
don't
like,
make sense.
man, my job is to score the ball. And as a head coach, you usually got something to say back, and you don't know what to say because nobody was expecting it, and he's just like, nah, and it's monotone as hell, nah, I ain't gonna move the ball for the hell of it. And everybody just started busting up laughing oh my gosh, in the locker room. I mean, in the theater room, man, watching that film. It was hilarious. But he got little one-liners all the time. He got one-liners all the time that people don't know, but he's hilarious. But him coming back, man, is going to be huge for us.
Yeah.
I mean, just the attention to detail that teams have to focus on. It's going to take the pressure off James being picked up. Full court. It's going to take the pressure off me getting double teamed and face guard and boxed and won when you're playing against certain teams. Having to guard Kawhi, he draws double teams. Like, you can't guard him one-on-one for a full course of the game. So now I'm getting more catch and shoot threes and more stuff out the floor of the offense from his double teams and stuff like that. I think it's just, I mean, he's a generational talent. When he's on the floor, man, and he's healthy, I mean, he's top 5 in the league with his production and his play. And it's going to elevate the team. I mean, he's a two-way threat. Offensively, defensively, and it's going to help other guys get into their more natural roles to help our bench as well. Some guys playing in the bench, starting right now with the lineups, and when he's back, it's going to have a full team to where we can, do a lot of different things defensively and offensively.
No, for sure. New season, new arena. How does it feel to have your own arena and not be a visitor at home?
Man, it feels great, dog. I can't even lie to you, man. Just having having your own setup, having your own locker room, being comfortable, having your own routine, not having, we got to get out early, we got to move this, we got a game at 12:30, we got to go this way to exit. We know where everything's at, so it's more relaxed, it's ease. And you got your own fans, you know what I mean? Like, we have the wall is a dedicated section for just us. So even when y'all travel down there and y'all like to bring all your fans and everything down to LA, we got our section still rocking and competing, you know what I mean? But it's great, man, to have your own identity. The rebrand is amazing, kind of gets away from the whole Sterling thing and all that, having our own identity. Ballmer's been great, providing everything that the team needs as players and as an organization. And the arena is top notch. I mean, I haven't been over to the visitor side, but I'm sure y'all ain't complaining about the locker room because some of these arenas and visiting locker rooms, you be in a box. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the Halo board is probably my favorite thing in that arena.
Yeah, it's incredible. I had walked all the way up to the top of the wall when we played y'all there, and just kind of got that vantage point of the top of the Halo board, and then kind of come down a little bit and see inside it. It was dope to see now, but we appreciate you, Steve. I've heard, there's a hot tub and cold tub and stuff in the Warriors guest locker room, and Ballmer got that over there. It's great. So we appreciate you, brother. The weight room, trainer room's great. Another thing, the seats. The seats are high. Like,
oh man,
they be you go to these different. No, I'm talking about, well, number one,
on the bench.
The bench seats are great, but even in the locker room, you go to these arenas, man, they be having these chairs that's super low and it fuck your hips up. And so with Intuit, they got the ones you can let up, and they got a warm on them and stuff. But I think the NBA should have a rule about the bench in NBA arenas, man. You want the product on the floor. You want guys to be healthy. A part of that is the little things like when you're sitting down, your hips being level. And a lot of them benches put you, hips in the wrong position.
Got regular folding
All
chairs.
of that stuff plays a part in injury. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So the NBA, you go to Dallas, they got them old-ass chairs, man.
Hey, bro, y'all still sitting in concert seats.
Yeah, it's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? Y'all sitting in the same seats we sitting in. Y'all ain't got no upgrade, y'all ain't got no gamer chairs. Y'all should be on
none
the
of that.
bench.
You know how in some road games you gotta bring the team brings those the pads and stuff so you can
Man,
the
that shit look
cushions.
nasty. Y'all sitting over
Yeah,
there
man.
with
It's
the
crazy.
cushions. Sitting on kid, I don't even look right, man. We gonna have to upgrade them seats, man. Let's find a seat partner or something like that. Come on, man. Hey, Dray. Hey, we putting the APB out. Anybody who make dope seats, we need bench seats. We need the bench right. Shit. Come on, man. Shit.
Exactly.
Carry your back up. That's a big part that's a big part, being on that bench. You got heating
Got
pads,
everything.
you got the back thing, and then you still got the hole in the back of the
Mm-hmm.
folding chair, so you can't really get a proper, man.
It's
Yeah, come
crazy,
on,
bro.
man. I know all about that, bro. That is not how we wanted to do. But back to the Intuit, I think Intuit is dope. I don't think it's a bad seat in the house. Being from San Diego, going to UCLA, being a Clipper, being a part of this new frontier. Just talk about, what this means, really, because y'all pioneering a whole new system, you know what I mean, of fans and just what you talked about, but just talk about, your career, where you at, the evolution, and just I feel like you in a
Yeah.
moment of, being home and also being a part of this, this new Clipper regime.
Yeah, honestly, it's full circle for me. You know what I mean? To be able to be back where the NBA journey started. You know what I'm saying? Going to UCLA, being able to be around my family, like having to be away. You miss so much time. You got to sacrifice. To be successful in this league. A lot of that sacrifice means giving up family time, personal time, whether that's with workouts and things like that, but also being on the road, and then, if you play for a team that's not in your home market, so that's my third season with them now. So for 3 years out of the 10 years I've been in the league, I've been home. The other 7, I've been on the road. So I've missed so much time with family. And it's been amazing these last 3 years just to spend time with my niece, spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, and just being able to, we have an off day, I can shoot down to San Diego, you know what I'm saying, for a few hours to see my moms and my sister and go to my nephew's football game, who actually plays for my high school now, and support there.
Yep.
So it's been amazing, you know what I mean? And then, just to kick off this season, the Clippers started the G League down in Oceanside, so to actually go down to San Diego County and where, I had my hoop dreams growing up in San Diego to play a game there, you know what I'm saying, and give the intro, to kick off the arena is amazing. It's something that, you can't really put down or dream about, as a kid growing up. So just to be a part of this whole new redesign, and be a focal point in it, knowing where the San Diego Clippers started, you know what I mean? And being from San Diego and that history there, is definitely dope to be a part of it. Like you said, it's a moment that I'm in, and I'm enjoying every second of it. I'm not taking it for granted. One, because I know the work that it is taken to get here, but also just being a part of where the organization is trying to go, and being a focal point in it has been truly amazing.
You faced the Warriors twice this year, coming into a game. How do y'all team prepare for Draymond Green?
Pressure the dog
What
shit
do you
out of
do?
me.
What do you do about his? Y'all talk about him talking shit.
Oh man, yeah. So we say, don't worry about the bullshit he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come in flailing and throwing elbows, yelling and screaming. We're gonna pressure the hell out of his handle. You know what I mean? And then
Pressure the hell out of me.
when he's driving to the basket, wall up and go vertical and make him a finisher. That's literally the setup. Don't get drawn into the BS. You know what I'm saying? Pressure the shit out of him, and then don't foul him when he's going to the basket. I just gave you the game plan right there.
It's been obvious for years. The team looks same game plan
Oh yeah.
every year.
Oh yeah.
Now Dray gonna start talking to you,
Oh,
Norm.
the funny thing
Watch
is,
out, bro. He got.
I already
he
talked
already
to
knew.
him.
I mean, I remember. Oh my gosh, dog.
What
Oh
have
my
you
gosh. I'm
said?
glad you bring that shit. I'm glad you brought that shit up.
Thank you,
Oh
bro.
my
I know
gosh,
he said
dog. I'm so glad. So I was
Oh.
playing. It was when I was in Portland. I remember this shit so vividly, man, because one of the assistant coaches was like, "You hear this shit Draymond Green said to you?" I said, "What are you talking about? What'd he say?" Because I'd be ignoring his ass because I know he's gonna be. I know he's gonna do something. I know he's gonna say something. So I try to attack him on the right wing between the legs crossover. I try to body him, whatever. I try to get my little, my rake through foul, and I don't get the call. And ball go out of bounds, right? And I don't even know what the hell he said, but Drake, he be getting hype when he gets stops. You know what I mean? And he be saying shit. And so, I just ran back on defense because I know he's about to say some shit. You know what I mean? He was already into the game.
Yeah.
And so then I was mad as hell because I would have said something if I knew it. But then there was a clip, on Instagram, and I'm running back on defense. He get the stop. He getting ready to take the ball out. He's like, "Yeah, you bitch ass mother." I was like, that's what he said. Oh man, I would have turned around and said something.
I wouldn't have said that to your face, Norm. I got too much respect for you.
Yeah, but I know, like I don't take it personal. I know that's you, and I like that part of the game, But I would have turned around and said, like, "What you think this is, man? I'm right back too. I'm here too." You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I remember that, man. He always saying something. He don't back down from nobody.
Now you get a lot of guys that you got them. Norm ain't never backing down from nothing.
He ain't listening to you, bro.
Nah, he not. A lot of guys in the league that
Norm, don't listen to him.
It take a lot for me to back. You know what I mean? I'm here to hoop.
Hey, Norm, don't listen to him. He'll say anything.
I know how it go.
Just gotta find angles, bro. I try to find angles. Hey, Norm, man, it's been a pleasure, brother. We appreciate you, my
great,
dog.
bro.
You having an incredible year. Keep it up. Stay healthy. And
Yes,
I hope the best for you, bro. Be an all-star. Keep chasing it, bro. It's incredible to see you leveling up
Appreciate
in
it,
year
man.
10. Like only Kyle Lowry has leveled up this late. You keep going, my dog.
I'm gonna try to pass. I'm gonna try to pass him.
Yeah,
so hopefully, things go right. I'll be right there, all-star, and get to experience that, man. But I appreciate y'all having me on here. Taking the time, man. I looked up both of y'all's careers, and it's an honor, man, to be, talking to y'all and be in the same category as y'all in some aspects, So I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, bro. Just invite me to the football game so I can sit in the lower bowl.
I got you, man. I make sure Doug take care of you with the tickets, man.
Hey, Dray, I'm sitting up there.
Whatever
like
you
this,
need, man. I got you.
He's sitting back. Sitting back like this, watching the game and shit. I got a beer right here, popcorn. Come on, Norm.
I'll get you right, man. I'll get you them floor seats, man, and get right there, first row.
Take care of the old dude.
Legend,
I got you.
Let's go, Bruin legend.
Appreciate
Clipper
you,
All-Star campaign.
Yes,
Norman
sir. Appreciate
Powell.
it, man.
Appreciate you, bro.